All right, let's start our much awaited panel discussion on remote work. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to SME Channel's panel discussion on remote work, which is sponsored by LogMeIn. As you know, my name is Sanjay Mahapatra, editor, SME Channels. Once again, say thank you for sparing time and joining this panel discussion. In this pandemic of COVID-19, things have taken a different turn. We are scared of working from office. We are scared of working from outside. We are scared of meeting people. We are scared even going out for shopping and allowing our kids to go to schools and colleges. It means the way the business used to happen is not going to happen anymore. It is about working from home, shopping from home, business from home, even education from home. God knows how far it will go, how long we'll continue like this. To understand this new normal and create awareness and create thought leadership around various technologies, solutions pertaining to present context. It means remote work, work from home, work from anywhere, or hybrid work. We have been engaging with thought leaders from time to time. We are engaging with the OEMs, the CXO community, including the CIOs, the CISOs, and the partners to understand their viewpoints. The objective is to create a thought leadership. The objective is to create a guidance for the channel, for the boarding CIOs, and the OEMs who are aspirant to coming to Indian market. With this, let me start the panel discussion. As always, before I start the panel discussion, I welcome all my esteemed panelists to be here. Of course, all the panelists are here except Mr. Tarun Seth, the Managing Director, Hitachi Micro Clinic, who is engaged in certain healthcare issue which is pertaining to one of his office staff. Welcome, Mr. Sudhir Kothari, CEO, Managing Director, MB Software, to this panel discussion, and great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjay.
Welcome, sir. Mr. Dinesh Gupta, Director and General Manager at Jones Corporation Solutions Private Limited, and Mr. Matthew Phillips, Senior Director, Business Development and Alliance, LogMeIn. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Sanjay.
Thank you, Sanjay. We look forward to it.
Okay, as the custom says, I need to introduce you gentlemen, great leaders in Indian IT market and channel market. I'll start with Mr. Sudhir Kothari. Mr. Kothari is an experienced and successful entrepreneur, dynamic leader, and believer of always on business transformation. Under his leadership, MB has been driving successful digital transformation for thousands of organizations, including the likes of GEP, IC Rights, Tata Steel, Wonder Cement, Pidlights, and many more. He stands out for his ability to manage the immediate business landscape while maintaining a long-term vision and thinking ahead of the time. Mr. Kothari's style of leadership is best described as intrapreneurial. It means with IT or ITRA in capital, with him constantly inculcating in his team a culture of swift decision-making, ownership, and customer centricity. When I say intrapreneurial, he believes in giving a decision-making capability and empowering his own workforce so that they can take decisions themselves. Mr. Dinesh Gupta, Director, General Manager at Jones Corporation Solutions Private Limited. A mechanical engineer, Mr. Dinesh joined Jones in December 2004, and as of 2020, he has consistently developed a diverse portfolio of business activity, including creation of back office operation for global fulfillment. For India and APEC region, he has led the system integration efforts, bringing about a major transformation in the way Jones now operates in the region. He also leads a closely knit high performance team and over 2,000 motivated professionals in APEC region. This team is focused on the corporate roadmap laid down by the management to extend the global systems integration image of Jones, and is extensively working on various initiatives. If I can sum up about Dinesh, his a proactive approach and never say die attitude makes him different from others. Mr. Matthew Phillips, Senior Director, Business Development Alliance, Lagme in. Matthew is a business leader with over 25 years of experience across sales and management, alliance, channel management, account management, people management, and business development. Matthew also is an extremely passionate and focused professional with loads of experience and positive energy, sharp business acumen, deep understanding of market and clients and their expectations. He extends a lot of empowerment to his parties, and at the same time is approachable to provide support whenever and wherever required. With this, gentlemen, I welcome all of you to the panel discussion, and I just want to throw the questions open to you. But before any questions come, I'll request you start from your own experience as to how has been the work from home or remote work, how has been the new normal, gentlemen, for you for last 5 months. I'll start with Sudhirji first.
Thank you, Sanjay ji. Thanks for asking me this question. Okay, so I think this work from home, if you ask me, in a way, people used to work remotely or work from
I think we are losing Sudhir. He's freezing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Earlier also appointed organization.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
So I think what work from home or last 5 months I've seen is we were always had a paucity of time, in our work life. We always said, wish we had more time. But I think the first thing my experience is that COVID or the last 5 months of the work from home has helped us in creating or manufacturing time, my personal experience is that we used to spend almost 8 hours, 9 hours in office, but the productive work which we see today, and I can measure it myself because we are at home, we see that we don't have more than 4 to 5 hours of real work time, So it has actually manufactured time to do more for your organization, and so that's one benefit I've seen working from home. And this is also applicable for all our people also. So I've seen that in my organization, I've seen my personal experience that people are taking more responsibility and they're taking that extra, hour they're putting in to see that the customer centricity is maintained. So that's one part. Now, for me, personal experience, I feel that another one is that working from home or anywhere also had an advantage of, a bit of flexible working hours, also. So this is also, helping us to you personally decide what time you want to start your day and what time you want to end your day. So that's very important, and that's what my experience has been. And earlier we were always in that unwritten rule that that 9:30 you have to reach office and 6:30 you have to leave office. That thing has got broken down. That rule has got broken down. I've also seen that costs have come down substantially. From the operation cost perspective, it has come down because people like us, our organization, we had a lot of travel. We have almost 500 employees, so lot of travel used to happen both in India, international, and that has come down, that cost, and we see that we are, without compromising on work, that the work is still happening and the cost has come down on that. So that's another area which I feel that personally uh, I've experienced that, and that's also adding to the bottom line of the organization. And also, other thing is very important is that we can time our meetings, and also we don't waste time between one meeting to another meeting. So 4 o'clock, if this meeting goes away, we can start at 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 minutes, another meeting. So these are all experiences done, and the most important is that you're actually spending quality time with your family, and you're also having quality food, and you can do a lot of you can time your activities, recreation activities. I think overall it's a fantastic experience, and people say that you want to have a great job as well as a great life. I think work from home or work from anywhere helps you in achieving those aspirations.
All right, so this is a good the way you enumerate on a productivity enhancement, operation cost reduction, which is adding to the profitability of the company and the quality of life. These are the major benefits what you are seeing, but there are people also who are seeing that it's becoming mundane, it's becoming very dull, and the personal timeline is also extending. Of course, we will discuss about this later part. I'm coming to Mr. Dinesh Gupta about the same, his experience for last 5 years. What is his own perspective on experience so far?
Thank you, Sanjay. I think from the very beginning, our organization has been one which basically has been having the work from home culture to a great extent embedded in its day-to-day work. However, these 5 months that we have seen, wherein for the initial maybe 3.5 months, everybody was actually forced to remain indoors and operate from there. Yes, I totally agree with Mr. Kothari when he says that the productivity has gone up. But on the flip side, what I have also seen is people walking up or maybe calling me up and telling me, when will this end? When can I come back to office? Right? So I see that quite many of my colleagues have been working late hours. You see them online at 9 in the morning. You see them online at 9 in the night, or maybe even later. Uh, the way the industry functions, there are two sides of everything that you have. One side could be positive, the other could be negative. So this experience has been a mixed bag for us as an organization. While we have not suffered on the productivity part, we have not suffered in terms of any kind of business loss. It has given us a new paradigm in terms of how going into the future we can possibly work from various places and yet be productive. It does not basically tie us to a desk and a chair in a confined room wherein with all the colleagues around. You could very well be productive sitting alone somewhere, be it your home or be it anywhere else. But at the same time, quite a lot of feedback that comes in, and this comes in especially from my colleagues, respected colleagues of the other side, which is like the ladies, I would say, in our organization, wherein they feel that at times it becomes very difficult for them to manage both the responsibilities. Earlier, they had their time clock set, and they would basically be able to take care of their home chores as well as come to the office and be able to deliver. Now it's mixed up. The kids, especially the younger kids, because the industry I'm in, we are working with the young blood. The average age is about 27, 28. So the young blood, they basically have young kids, and they find it difficult at times, when they feel that they have to get on a call and the kid starts tugging at them. So they're torn as to what to do. But overall, if I look at it, it's been positive. But if I were to say that would it be the way of future, maybe I'm divided.
Okay.
I would, to a certain extent, yes, but in my opinion, a hybrid model of rotation perhaps for the entire workforce would be more effective and more, productive for the organization as they go forward. I totally agree on the point of the the expenses coming down, but still, I think with India as a market wherein that human touch of face-to-face meetings with your clients or with your vendors or with your contractors, it will take quite a lot of effort and time to go away. We have seen a complete transformation in the way the business is being conducted. If I recall the words of our political leaders a few months back about the digital transformation on the financial front, perhaps more than 50% of the population would not have agreed. But today, you see that the same more than 50% is actually going all the way out to get on that digital platform to get their necessities. Earlier, it was a mandate that, okay, on a weekend, even if just for the sake of going out, I would go to a mall, I would go to a departmental store to get my groceries in or to get my essentials in. Today, that's not the normal. We are ordering online, we are getting the stuff, but then I look at it from a different perspective. How is it reaching me? It is being carried by somebody. So, which means at least 50% of the professional society which is there. It may not be the blue collared or the white collared, but it is definitely some people who are there in the field who need to take it to the end delivery point. And that's where I say that a hybrid model would prove to be more effective. Yes, when before the pandemic, we used to get requests from people. I'm having some guests over at home. I would request for a work from home on that particular day. Fine, you can have it. But today, the same people are coming back and saying, "Can I come back to the office maybe 3 days in a week and start working from there?" So that's been the experience that I have had in this 5 months per se. Even today, if the office that I'm sitting in, we can house about 250 people in Noida. We only have about 30, 35 coming in. But there are others who are actually willing to come down to office even for a small excuse that they need to come down to office. It's just to change that particular environment that they've been operating in those 5 months. Earlier, work from home was a change in environment from the office perspective. Today, work from office is a change in environment from that work from home perspective.
So I'll just add Dinesh out here, Sanjay, because you see, when we are talking about work from home, we're talking about work from anywhere. Yes, I agree. Work from home, if you have, if you're confined to one place, it's a challenge, of course, for a human being to, keep staying there and working from there, and everything is happening from there. But we are talking about future. In future, when it's going to be work from anywhere, you have a liberty to go out. You're working from home. Also, you can go out, have a cup of coffee, take your family out for a lunch or a dinner or some recreation activity you can do. You have a freedom to do that. Things might just change. I'm just thinking, because we are right now restricted to one place, we are feeling claustrophobic, we are feeling frustrated. So that's one of the reasons. But the moment you have a work from anywhere culture, I mean, work from anywhere situation comes in, it will change a bit. I think what you are saying is absolutely, I agree with you that there are people who are talking about being frustrated right now because they are restricted. But things will change from that perspective.
Things have to open up and people need to be allowed. Government has to do those things to allow people to create a physical and healthy atmosphere so that the confidence in people's mind that get instilled so that they go and mix with people and do whatever they want to do. Okay, we'll come to that. Before that, let's hear from Matthew Philip from his point of view, what kind of route he is taking so far, what has been his experience from Logme point of view as well.
Yeah, so thanks, Sanjay, and good afternoon to all the panelists here, and I mean a big good afternoon to all the audience who are here listening to us, right? So yeah, so I'm sure most of us would have gone through the same experience, right? So some of it was discussed by my fellow panelists. Like, I think one of the biggest things all of us faced is to go overnight, right, to work from home, the entire organization. So earlier in a large team, you may have 1 or 2 people who may on and off work from home. right? Suddenly it became the 100% of the population went to work from home, and that was definitely not planned. And everything was a challenge, if you ask me. So it was not just the challenges, not it was challenge was to do with the culture because we were not used to working from home. The challenge was to do with basic infra, which was like your hardware, which you needed. You suddenly needed laptops at home. The challenge was internet, which was these were basic, right? And then you once the people got adjusted to these hygiene factors, then you needed to give them tools so that they can do their best work, right? So it was how do you give them good collaboration tools? How do you ensure they are more productive if their devices go down? Can you give them good? Can you provide support through good secure remote support tools? Then it became how do they access their data which is there in their offices from their home in a secure manner? So they needed remote access solutions, right? And beyond all this came the security piece of it, because if you are working from home, you started using home devices for office work, and you also started using office devices for home work. So then your identity or your solutions to do with identity management became critical. So all this along with the culture part was the challenges which people or organizations were going through, right? And now it's been 6 months. People have got settled down. People have got used to it. Right now, the data points are coming. What Mr. Sudhir also mentioned, what Mr. Dinesh also mentioned is true that all surveys are saying people would like to continue working from home, at least hybrid, if not completely. Right, and obviously with all these professional challenges, we also had the personal things, right, where children suddenly started attending classes from home. They were not used to attending online classes, so the parents had to dedicate their time between office work and being with their children so that they attend those online classes, specifically the younger children, right? But having said this, I mean, as LogMe, as a company which I represent, we've been working on unlocking the potential of the remote workforce since 2003. So we've been there for last 17 years. So what organizations today are talking about remote work or work from anywhere, we have been talking about it since 2003, right? So this comes a little more naturally to us. So though we started off as a remote access, remote support company, today we have diversified into collaboration and communication, identity management, digital engagement, right? Anything that is needed to work from anywhere. So that's what we call ourselves as a work from anywhere company. Right? And obviously, one of the key advantages, which both of them touched upon, is that hybrid work or remote work will allow you to, I mean, one, spend quality time with your family, spend quality time at work rather than wasting time traveling. If some, like I am from Bangalore, right? So from going from Silk Board for partners who are from Bangalore, from Silk Board to the other end, which is MG Road, it will take 2 hours for you, right? So rather than wasting time driving, now you are able to spend time either at work or with family, right? And then obviously for organizations, they have reduced cost in travel. They may reduce their real estate because you may not need large offices to have so many people, right? If you have the right set of tools, customers are more open to today coming on an online meeting. Earlier, even if you wanted to do it, the customer would say, boss, I want to meet you in person. Today, that is coming down. They are more open. They realize that business can happen on an online manner also. And most importantly, you can attract talent. Right, talent, because now you are not, if you are an office in Bangalore, you need not choose a person only from Bangalore, right? Or if you are in Mumbai, you don't have to choose from Mumbai. You can have a talent from Calcutta because now it is work from anywhere, right? And you can build in diversity. So a lot of advantages also, but the personal touch, how to manage that personal touch when you're working from anywhere, because in offices, you meet your employees, you meet your teams. So you have this personal touch. How can you create this personal touch in a virtual environment has to be continuously worked on. But I agree with Mr. Dinesh that I also believe that hybrid work would possibly be an option, which will be a more attractive option going forward. So that's from my side on the current thing which is going on the work part.
Okay, okay, we are, yeah. Go
Sanjay,
ahead, go
just
ahead.
to add to what Matthew sir had just said, the first 5 months we saw very high productivity coming in. And that was perhaps because somewhere down in the hearts, people were wanting to test that environment of work from home. They suddenly got a wish. Maybe it was just because of a pandemic situation or a forced lockdown or something. They got a wish, which was deep embedded desire in their hearts of being able to work from home, from the close to their family and everything. And the productivity rose up. While I don't deny the fact of saving at least 3.5 to 4 hours of commute time when working in any kind of a metro city, be it Bombay, Delhi, or Bangalore, for that matter, even Chennai to a certain extent, or Hyderabad. But slowly and steadily, my personal feeling is that this productivity factor will start weaning off. Because people will then get more used to having freedom of when to work. So that 8 hours or 9 hours in office that they were there, wary of people looking at what they were doing, and they were wary of being monitored by others. Now, when you are your own master, you basically set your own time table and you work on that. Somewhere down the line, you would find at least 45 to 50% of such employees weaning off that productivity. Because it's an industry proven fact that in any organization, you would have a top 20 to 25% who would be pulling the maximum weight. And then you would have an additional 50 to 55% who would be basically trying to pull weight. They would be trying to emulate that 20-25% and just reach a level wherein they are able to deliver what they're supposed to deliver. But then there is always a set of those 15 to 20% who typically take it as a comfort ride. My worry here is that from that 50 to 55%, would we see a drop in that 50 to 55% and an increase in the bottom rung rather than an increase in the top rung?
No, so I mean, if I could, I mean, even Mr. Sudhir touched upon it. See, obviously, so Dinesh, the challenge is that today when we look at it, like I am at home, right? And I'll end up working the entire day at home. I'm not able to go out. But let's say a situation where I, as a business guy, I'm working from home for 3 days a week, right? And the 2 days I'm traveling and meeting my customers, right? Maybe in person. Some of them I may be in office having a team meeting. See, as long as we are able to get into a hybrid model, possibly some of these challenges of people feeling frustrated, sitting out of home 5 days a week, not able to meet with their peers, with their customers, possibly those things can be arrested by using a combination of hybrid, which is why I mentioned the word hybrid. It is not that some of them will work from office and some of them will work from home. That's not what I meant. What I meant is I'm working in a hybrid model. That means I spend maybe a day in office. Earlier I used to spend 5 days in office. Now I spend a day in office. And the balance 4 days either at home or at a remote location or at a customer place, right? So it can be anywhere. So that is what I meant possibly by hybrid. And I think that's what we will have to open up and then see how this performance pans out, because this is new for all of us, right? Like a doctor, for example, will have to continue working from a hospital, right? You may still have telemedicine, but you may still like to go to a hospital to meet him, or a defense or a government. So they may have to still be at their locations or offices. But some of our kind of work can possibly be hybrid or work from anywhere. So that's my thought on it.
No, okay. Then in this note, I just want to come to Sudhir ji about he is a proponent of. He says very emphatically that working from home enhances the productivity, which I also agree. What about timing? What should be the timing? I mean, now there is no timing. I start at 7 o'clock. You also start at 7 o'clock. If there is a call and goes till 1 o'clock, 1:30. And this cannot be done by everybody, except some people who are superhuman kind.
Okay, so one very important thing in the work from anywhere. Let's not go from work from home to work from anywhere, because that's going to be the future basically. And when we say work from anywhere, hybrid automatically comes into that. You can work from office, you can work from vacation place, you can work from your home, so you can work from coffee shops, anywhere. So if you're work from anywhere, we have to first understand that what Dinesh was correctly saying, we have 20 to 30% of the employees. So I always say top 30% of the employee are the one who probably produces 80% output for you. So it's very important that we have a very clear KRAs or objective and KRAs defined for them. And for example, like this is there for in our organization for last 8 years. So it's very well defined KRAs are there, and which are measurable. You have to give them dashboards. You have to give them, whether it's a sales, pre-sales, you have to give them dashboards to see that whether they are meeting those KRAs or not. So once you have define your work very well, it doesn't matter what time the person starts the work. How does it matter to me? That's number one. Number
Okay.
two, now again, we are talking about our kind of business. So I'm not talking about any other industry, because other industry could be, driven by product, driven by something else. Our industry is driven by customer and OEM. Our industry means the channel business I'm talking about.
Mm.
Are driven by customers and driven by OEMs. And if there's a drop in output, for example, both at the customer side or the OEM side, from the perspective that OEM has given you lead or OEM has given something to you and you have not worked on it, there's a lot of pressure which comes back to you, and there's always an escalation process internally. So people are aware of it, that in our kind of business, that if I don't perform, there's a whole chance that it gets escalated to next level and they get exposed. So we are, at least in that way, we have an advantage that we can manage our team remotely very well. So that's a matter. But well, that is not a structured way of managing things, but I'm just saying one of the way you can manage things, of course, because second of all, when roles and responsibility, as I said, KRA defined, they can be measurable, then time does not matter. And I always believe you can't monitor people. You have to monitor their outcomes, And then it's very important also is that you have to be connected with them through town hall meeting, for example. You have to have that 1 or 2 months, you have to keep connected. So in our case, for example, that we have got branches. I see to it that every month, one town hall meeting happens with all the employees of a particular branch. Okay, we can talk about challenges, health, and we can talk about fun also. We can talk about work also. Some policies changes we want to bring in, simple policy changes. So, where employees feel they are inclusive, and they're connected to us. So these are some of the things probably I feel that it's possible to get the impact. Of course, now we have not spoken about the productivity of employee from the timing and the productivity. Of course, less travel for the employees, what even Dinesh was talking about, where people are spending almost 2 to 3 hours on time. So less time means you are less tired also at the same time. So your mind is positive. You are automatically giving higher productivity. So that's another one which is very important. And very important all over this is that self-motivation. Is your employee self-motivated? Is your organization having self-motivated employees or not? If they are not self-motivated, I can tell you work from home anywhere or work from home will not work. It has to be self-motivated, because you can't monitor. You want your things to be done. So overall, this is very important. When you're taking people, when you are seeing people, is he self-motivated? If he's not self-motivated, I feel he's good, but not self-motivated. Little bit of motivation or little bit of monitoring is required. But he is not good and not self-motivated. It's better you get rid of that guy in this current environment. So I think timing is not going to be a challenge. Timing will not be. You have a very well-defined system. I don't think so. Timing is it. People are actually working more. Some of the panelists said people are actually working 9 o'clock. I've seen people, technical pre-sales people are working till 9 o'clock, 8:30, and now customers are calling up 8:30. 8:30, 9 o'clock, customers are calling up to do the work. Never ever in our life we have seen customer calling up 9:30 to do their work. So they want to have a Teams meeting, for example, at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So this was ever unheard of. So I think overall, why I feel very positive about this, because in our industry, customers today, as Dinesh was saying, people were not used to, customers not used to meeting customer, remotely, for example. Today, they are all doing it. They're all doing it. They'll get used to it in 2 years' time, 1.5 to 2 years' time. If you ask me, I'm thinking about how am I going to go back to work, normal way of working. It's so difficult. I'm sure the same thing is being thought about by our customers. And I was talking to one of the OEM, very senior guy, and he was telling me the same words. Sudhir, I don't know how I'm going to go back. And he's very, very senior guy. He said, I don't know how I'm going to go back. So this is, everybody is thinking in a similar line. Yes, there's a restriction right now. So I'm sure once the freedom comes in, a lot will change. But I don't think so there's any problem on the productivity of employee or timing or the.
Okay, so you are hinting at the mindset of the people. I'll come to Dinesh ji around the productivity, timing, and the mindset. Are you seeing, or do you think that 100% of the employee strength they have that positive mindset and they are okay with any time and anywhere. I mean, where is different, any time. There is no time limit. Are they so motivated, or that's limited to that 30%, as you are saying, who produce 80% of your work?
So you can never in any environment have 100% of the people who are self-motivated,
Mm-hmm.
right? Industry has time and again proven that. And Sudhir ji is underlining what I said. Perhaps the number varies a little bit, but not beyond that. The self-motivated lot is that top lot. For
Yes.
them, it does not matter where they're working from. For them, their office is the day-to-day productivity device that they carry. That's their office. Wherever it comes on, the office is on,
Mm.
right? My worry is more after this 30%,
Exactly.
right? So, but
Mm.
then what is the risk? The
Mm.
risk is, in Sudhirji's word, that 20% of the business volume that we see from these 50%. But
Mm.
at the same time, these 50% form the mass. So
Mm.
the challenge here for people like us is to basically convert from these 50% people and help them not slip down to the last 20%, but get them to increase that 30% to maybe 35 or 40%, so that the overall business sanctity is maintained
Mm.
and we are able to progress the way we were progressing prior to this pandemic.
Mm.
But the business today, anybody who gets into business, anybody who gets into any kind of professional activity, the
Mm.
mindset is about growth. It is not about staying stagnant.
Mm.
The mindset is about aspirations, what they
Exactly.
want to do in 3 to 5 years or 7 years of time,
Mm.
right? So that mindset needs to be inculcated, and perhaps that top band of 25 or 30% needs to be grown to maybe for 35 to 40% to
Mm.
understand and to basically maintain a tempo of growth that we are used to as business leaders.
Okay, so we'll have a poll after this. Before that, I just want to bring in Matthew here. Matthew, from Logme in perspective, I think you are into that business where you have been yourself, your company has been propagating about remote work and for a long time, and you have got solutions also, and you are into different kinds of studies along with consultants, along with your complementing partners as well. Matthew, what is your view on these things?
No,
On
no.
the
So
whole, yeah.
So I completely agree with what Sudhir and Dinesh mentioned, right? About first is about self-motivated individuals. So that's going to be key. Now, when you are hiring, you have to hire right? So you will have to get those right kind so that you have people whom you don't need to monitor. Because earlier, when you were in office, you could always monitor a person's effort. Now it is going to be on the output he delivers. And if you need to get output and you need people to work even when they are not monitored, you would need self-motivated people, right? So that definitely is a very key part of any hiring process, and it will become even more important going forward. But coming
Mm.
back to some of the data points, I mean, I usually show a presentation in which there are some surveys which have been done by leading workplace analysts and workplace research organizations, HubSpot, Microsoft, Gartner. So a lot of data points which came from there. Couple of them which are very important, right? One is that 76% of the global professionals, right, want to continue working from home after the pandemic. This was much lower 3 months back, right? It is now around 76%, which means people are now comfortable. People are finding value to it. So they are saying 76%. The second statistics which is there is almost 78%, if I am right, of people feel they are more productive when they are working from home than when they were working from office, right? Again, it's a cross-sectional survey and done by multiple people across global organizations. So this may be with larger organizations which have been surveyed, but these were statistics which came out, which means that these organizations, now that we know this is going to be the future, is to enable organizations with the right set of collaboration tools, right? The right set of essential tools for them to run their day-to-day business, to do their best work, right? Whether it is for an employee to collaborate with an employee to collaborate with a customer. This is extremely critical, because if you are not able to do all that from wherever you are, then you have a challenge in hand. Because even if the person is motivated, even if the person is willing to be working from anywhere, right? If he's not equipped with the right set of tools to be able to securely and simply collaborate and engage with his customers and employees, then we have a challenge in hand. So it's a combination of the right set of people and the right set of technologies. And that's where, from a technology perspective, is where OEMs like LogMeIn would play a role, and obviously partners like who are there on the panel, and this, they know the customer the best. So, I mean, they would know what solutions would best help the customers so that they can enable them on their work from anywhere journey. So,
okay,
that's
regarding,
what
yeah, thank you, Matthew. Matthew, regarding this, we have a question. Let's straight away take a question, then we'll have a poll. We have a question from Avinash Wadhwa, CMO, Align Associates Private Limited. So he says that social issues, family harmony, office pressure, personal freedom, and goals are some of the major challenges of work from home. I believe work from anywhere is better choice. A mix of office, home, anywhere else. But then infra and accessibility is a challenge for many. Not forget security and productivity. What solutions do you suggest in those cases? By the way, I'm used to work from home since 1999. So it means he's working from home since 1999. It's a long time.
So I guess we should have him on the panel because he would also be able to respond because he's one, I guess, one of the people who have been doing it much longer than some of the others. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Dinesh was saying something, I think.
No. I was just reacting to the comment that you made. Please go ahead.
Yeah. No, do you have an essay on this about the technology? He is bringing out
Yes.
any technology.
If I were to basically look at certain reports that I've been reading in the newspapers of late, and also look at things, the entire thing about the the change on the social front definitely would have its toll. It's about because earlier the office environment was guarding you for those 8 hours a day from those I would say the disturbance that he's referring to in terms of people barging in or your family moving around, and he's not being able to concentrate on certain things that he wants to do at a given point in time. But it's more about the human psychology and his ability to let go of the disturbances as a nuisance and concentrate on work in an environment where he can. I'm aware of the fact that more than 75% of workforce will not have dedicated, study rooms or office space, or they would have converted maybe a dining table or a center table in their drawing room as a makeshift office. They would possibly have another monitor sent in from the office to cover up for the missing tool that they were having in the office. But still, it's more on the individual how he takes it. It's more on the individual and his own motivation. As the Kothari Sahab very clearly said, self-motivation. It's more about his motivation to be able to deliver what he needs to deliver. Yes, challenges related to health, challenges related to disturbances, challenges related to other aspects would definitely come in, but those challenges come in your office place as well. It's not that you don't have those challenges. Maybe there will be a little less in terms of disturbances because your other colleagues would be also working, but you often find at least 10% of the office staff would be chit-chatting with each other during those 8 hours also. That's a disturbance. Today you are looking at it because you are basically seeing it in a smaller space. Earlier you were neglecting it because that was happening in a larger space, but it was always there.
And I think another thing I want to add out here, Sanjay, is everybody has to be disciplined also, And I tell my people that you can't start your work at 7:30, 8 o'clock and continue till 9 o'clock, and in between, you have to have very clear demarcation that this is my personal recreation time, this is my personal family time. Don't take meeting during those days. It's not during those hours. If you want to see half an hour, you want to spend time, or 1 hour you want to spend time with your family during lunchtime, let it be your personal hour. Why you have to mix it with the business? So you get up early, and I think my health has improved because I'm getting up at 5 o'clock. I never used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. This entire this pandemic has actually helped me put entire structure to my timings. I get up at this time, I do my exercise, do my puja, I do this, I do my work, and then everything is very structured. Food is on time. I think I never had so much of time discipline ever in my life. 9 o'clock is breakfast, 1 o'clock is so I think it's all depends on individual. You have to put that you know uh, you know thing into your life. You can't do it said just because you have a freedom to stay and do anything anytime doesn't mean that you mess up the entire timing. You can't do that.
I totally agree with Sudhirji on this. My physician had been after my life for almost 2 years to get into a regular exercising rhythm. But these 5 months, I think hardly 5 days that I missed that rhythm. Earlier, it used to be like 25 days I would miss that rhythm and do it 5 days in a month. Now it is 5 days in 5 months that I've missed it. Otherwise, I feel I think maybe about 10 years younger in these 5 years.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So I think if there's a lockdown for 6 more years, you'll go back to college, Dinesh.
I would love that.
All right.
So, before you go to the poll, just from the technology element, which the gentleman on the question had asked, so obviously from our tools, he had asked the technology, right? So I just want to tell him there are a lot of good technologies available, including the products we have, whether it's on the collaboration side to have the right video meeting tools, right? Or the right remote access, because you may have some your office based or whatever your official documents which you would like to remote in a secure manner. You may need to have support available on your devices. You would need the right identity solutions, the right password management solution, because 80% of the breaches today happen due to weak passwords. So you need to have the right password vaulting solution. So today, companies like us, like LogMeIn, we have an entire work from anywhere spectrum of technology. So along with all the qualitative areas like discipline, self-motivation, right? These are the right technologies also need to be invested in to get the right work from anywhere experience. So that's my 2 bits on this part.
And they're cheap today. They're not expensive.
Absolutely.
Technology.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think Dinesh ji has got another engagement. Before he moves out, I'll have another question for him, and after that I'll have a poll that I was talking about. So there is a question, Dinesh ji, for you, Srinivas Narayanan. He's writing, being in this situation, has our industry started engaging the freelancers? Are we ready to get into the freelancer economy, which is HR point of view, which is a good one?
I am divided on that aspect, because freelancing and expecting the freelancer to be available, especially in today's environment, wherein my customer has the freedom to reach out to me at a time of their choosing, and me having that freedom to reach out to my employees, or my employees having that freedom to reach out to me. So the freelancing definitely is a very attractive proposal, because it does away with a lot of legal compliance issues which typically in a office environment or a organization environment you might have to adhere to. But still, in terms of productivity and other aspects, in terms of a sense of belonging, in terms of carrying something with pride, I need to make a call on that. I don't think it would be a generic statement for me to say I don't like freelancing or I'm totally in for the freelancing. It would be a case-to-case basis decision for me.
I think I'll just add here, Sanjay. See, talking about gig economy basically. The gig economy is going to, right now in India, will pick up on a very specialized technology or specialized solutions or something like that. Or, for example, if I have some pre-sales specialist. For example, I'm just giving you one simple example. I have a requirement for pre-sales specialist. I need to have it on in my role only. I can't go out and look for his time. When can I get his time? Because customer expects to respond immediately. However, that can work that if you have a requirement, for example, your capacity is today X and you need Y capacity today, tomorrow. So in between, you can use that, outsource employee, a freelancer. But what Dinesh is saying, right? You need to have your own person. You can't just depend outside, because customers are very demanding, highly demanding. They want solution right now, and you can't expect the freelancer to work, because freelancer will say, okay, I have a timing, I have a contract with you, I'll give you 20 hours a week, and this is my working. You can't say when those 20 hours you will require. So it's a very, still in a very preliminary. I think we are in the very preliminary in the gig economy, and there has to be a structure coming in place. So I think still we are early right now. But yes,
Okay.
very specialized work, I think freelance will be there.
Okay, let's take another question from Mr. Ashok Laha. He's the CEO of Intera IT. He's a very good, known person in the industry as well. His question is very different and at the same time very pertinent also, broad based. What if the quality of work in 2020 was 21 as compared to 2019? So there is a miss of 2020, it means.
Can you repeat that, please?
So what will be the quality of work in 2021 as compared to 2019?
So I think I think customers are now going to be very business outcome oriented work is going to be there. People are not going to be casually buying anything now.
Okay.
They are going to have a problem, and you need to solve a problem. That's number one. Or customers might not be able to convey their problem. You have to be proactive in letting them know what are the problems which might come in, and here I'm for the solution. So I think we are completely going out of commodity business, completely. If you ask me, 2021 will be starting point from 100%. I'll say 95% of solution business coming into place. So that's going to be a complete different kind of engagement, different kind of talking, different kind of you might have industry knowledge has to be there also. So maybe now partners have to start getting into industry domain knowledge. Very important. Either you take up manufacturing, you take up retail, you take up anything. So people will go into those kind of space. You have to expand also at the same time. So solution is one area, that is a technology solution, and the other area is on the business or industry domain space. These are areas which are, so for example, if you are doing a solutioning on analytics, for example, or a ERP, for example, you have to have a very good business domain knowledge. The customer is not going to speak to you unless you don't have a business domain knowledge of that. You're not going to talk about their vocabulary, they're not going to talk to you. So those are some of the horizontal technology. You can still don't need domain knowledge, for example, but a lot of vertical technologies are going to start coming in, So there, I think that's going to, so entire conversation is going to change with the client. That's the major change.
Sanjay, I would like to thank everyone on the panel as well as the listeners. And I would like to say thank you and leave you in the middle for now. Thank you very much for having me here, and look forward to talking to all of you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Dinesh.
Thank you, Dinesh, for sparing time with us, almost like 45 minutes. All right. See you sometime next, whenever we'll have.
Sure, definitely.
Bye.
Look forward.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye. So Sanjay, I just want to add to that point which was asked about 2021. So I am not so sure about the quality part. I mean, so they did give some very valid inputs on that. But I think for us, a lot of us, right, a lot of people on this who are listening to us and not, I mean, we need to be able to unlearn and relearn, right, about what we thought work culture was, what we thought life was. We have to completely. So I'm reminded of the Alvin Toffler's favorite, very famous quote, which says, the illiterates of the 21st century would not be the ones who do not have formal education, but the ones who cannot unlearn and relearn, right? So all of us today, I think as we go into 2021, may have to unlearn a lot of what we thought was the right way of doing things to the new way of learn and the new way of doing things, right? Like Sudhir did mention that how he transformed himself by creating more discipline in his life, becoming more health conscious, right? Or maybe doing, how do you get more self-motivated people? So I guess we'll have to unlearn a lot of things the way we were doing and relearn ourselves, right? The quality piece will come only after that. But the first part is relearn a lot of things, or unlearn and relearn. Right? So that's what I would feel is what we will have to do in the 2021.
Definitely. Let's we have 5 to 10 minutes time. Let's have the poll first, and we'll take some more questions. I think we're taking it. All right, let's take another 20 minutes. Let's see.
20 seconds.
20 seconds, sorry. So yeah. All right, so let's close this one. This poll, it shows the outcome of the poll is the question was which one is the biggest challenge? No office grade technology 8%, poor employee engagement 23%, security concern is the biggest challenge, communication barrier to team collaboration, which is not a challenge. I mean 23%, of course that's little bit higher, but security is the biggest challenge. Let's have the other poll also. We'll discuss about after that. I think we don't need any more time. 100% and hybrid work. Okay, so two questionnaire we had floated. One was around what is going to be the future of work. The options were remote work, work from office, and hybrid work. So 100%. So this is the mindset is clear. People are ready for hybrid work. And the other thing, if it is remote or if it is from anywhere from work, including hybrid work. So you can I understand, including hybrid work, security is a challenge also. You have to ready for the hybrid work. That means you have to re-architect your office environment. You have to look at the security. You have to look at rewiring of your technology protocols that you had earlier, the way you are consuming the technology for your organization. Sudhirji.
Yeah, I think security, it's not that security was not required earlier. Security protocols were already there. If you ask me, earlier in a lot of organization, I'm talking about right now, not customer perspective, I'm talking about our kind of organization. So where we have multiple branches, multiple, a large pool of people working, we already had those kind of security in place where people could not take any backup, or if people were forwarding a mail to a customer, they can actually time it, after 5 days this mail will not be available. So those kind of technology was there. But of course, in the work from home, there are multiple further challenges are going to come, because people are going to work from unsecured Wi-Fi area, or they're going to work from public Wi-Fi and all that. So those are going to be a challenge. And for that today, for example, VDI technology kind of technology were already always there, VVD or VDD or VDI and all those kind of technologies were already there. It is just not got implemented to a lot of our kind of organization. Multi-factor authentication, for example, is going to be very important. Endpoint security is going to be very important. So I think these are all solutions all available today, where people will have to invest in that, and not only invest, also see to it that you do a audit also of that happening. So there's going to be a little bit of expenses you are going to save somewhere, but you're also going to see to it that some kind of money is going to be spent on the security part. Very important. And also at the same time, you have to ensure that all documents which are getting created by employees from their home or from wherever they are creating the document from has to get into central repository, because you don't know when the people are going to leave, when people are going to, how they're going to share with other people. So it's very important those documents are all. So these are all perspective. Of course, some kind of advanced artificial monitoring system also will come up, I'm sure, where you can do monitoring at what your end user, trying to share with people, what kind of sites he's going to, what kind of activity he's performing. So maybe it's not without getting into the personal privacy, for example, how you can get those information which can safeguard you. So of course, those are all new technologies are going to come in, but currently there are multiple technologies are already there, which can help you to be secure to quite an extent.
Matthew, your take on that?
Yeah. So I see one to hybrid. Obviously, all the panelists also agreed that hybrid is the way it is going forward. And I have not seen, I've done multiple webinars now, that percentage has never gone below 100%. So about hybrid being work. So one thing is clear, people have got used to work from anywhere. Right now it's work from home, but in the future it would be work from anywhere, right? So I think people are getting used to it. Now coming to the tools, yes, security obviously is very important. And when we say security, see, we were always earlier talking about your network security, your data center security, right? So, but right now it is about you have to move from peripheral-based security to your individual-based security, right? So the main thing is your identity as an individual. So when you are accessing an application in your office, the identity is you are who you are saying you are, right? So that the person who is accessing, one, he is the person who is saying, which is the identity piece of it, and he is allowed to access that application which he is accessing, right? So you need to have privilege access management. So today there are good solutions available, like LogMeIn has LastPass, which is a password vaulting. So it starts off with something as elementary as having all your passwords in a vault, right? Because password is your weakest point when it comes to data breaches. And then you have a single sign-on, right? So you don't have to remember multiple passwords. And then you have multi-factor authentication, which means you don't even need to have a password, right? So you have to have these kind of platform solutions, and most importantly, have it on the cloud so that it is quick to deploy, right? You get quicker ROI rather than going through those traditional on-prem solutions, which will take time to deploy. You have to invest in infrastructure, huge capex costs. Move on to SaaS-based solutions, quick to deploy and quick to get ROI, right? So yes, there are, like Sudhir ji said, there are enough solutions available. And I, being from LogMeIn, I can talk about LastPass. I can actually take a lot of time, which I don't want to. So please go on to your websites and search for LastPass. It's got a free version also, which as all of you as individuals can please feel free to download and use the password vaulting solution.
Okay, so we are already at the end of the our discussion. If you permit me, I can take 2-3 more questions. We have got 7-8 questions. I'll pick and choose, take best questions. I think 3 questions. Okay, Minal from Calcutta. Minal Bhagat, director, Ensony Computer Private Limited. She writes. She says, how much time should be estimated for adoption to new technology for education industry? We are talking about generic business. Now, education is very specific.
So education, I think if you ask me, education is already adapted to new technology. If you ask me, the education, I know my daughter-in-law is already studying in OP Jindal and law school, and she's already doing it from here only. The classes have already started remotely. They're already doing it. And I know that in the month of April, May, June, there was a program by one of our principals where we had to implement in hundreds of schools collaboration tool for them to, do this teaching, and everything should happen online. So I think they're already done with it now today. If you ask me, they're secured. They have the best of tools today. Google, for example, Microsoft, what is that, Cisco, WebEx, everything is got implemented in all these colleges and schools, because they can't do without it today, if you ask me. If they are not going to be on collaboration tools, they are not going to be. So I think I'm not able to understand Minal's question. Is it that she's expecting how much time will it take?
Yeah, complete Yeah. How much time would it take for the education institute to complete, adapt to the new, normal remote education
I
completely?
think not more than 6 to 8 months time. Technology wise, people can keep upgrading themselves, keep evolving. But I
Hmm.
think 6 to 8 months time, they'll be all ready for it. They have no
I
other
think,
option.
yeah, what she is hinting here, it's not about the education institute back at homes. There are millions of schools, government schools. Are they ready? Even the parents or the students at home, are they ready for these new things? Are they ready to work or study
That
from
all
the
depends on government tenders and all
yeah,
that, how government is going to
absolutely.
do
So
it.
I
And we can't
since
predict it.
I know, yeah. So another question I'm just taking from Hitachi Microclinic. This is something very I know typical for everyone as to how will you emotionally support employees after extended period of social isolation and other traumas? Matthew, let me start with you. It's from Tushar from Hitachi Microclinic.
Yeah, I think Sudhirji would be the best person because he employs a lot of people. But yeah, from my two bits, that's because I work for an organization. But see, my other organization we work for, like I told you, a lot of us we've been always talking about remote work, so it came naturally. So we are there. But yes, we all go through these times where we get too much into work, right? So we spend again, Sudhirji talked about morning 7 o'clock. We have to be disciplined, but we are not able to, right? Because customers and your employees in your teams believe that because he's at home and you're connected, let's just call him and find out what to do, right? So with this, what we do is, like as an organization, we have something called a self-care day, which is very unique. We are right. So every first Friday of the month is called a self-care day. On that day, nobody is allowed to get online except for people who manage sock knock and all that. So they have to. Otherwise, the entire workforce gets into a self-care day. So we don't mail each other, we don't call each other, we don't talk to the teams. It's called self-care day, official chutti on the first Friday of the month. Then we have on other Fridays evening, alternate Fridays, we have a team building activity where, let's say, the sales team, the engineering team. So those each teams will get together in the evening, and we have a lot of time to socialize among us. Again, no talk of work, so it can be an online Ludo, it can be some online team building activity, so that that personal touch continues, right? And regarding his Tushar's question, I think specifically was when you come back to work, I think people would be already on work, right? So it's just a question of that personal element getting missed out, that social life getting impacted, which I think is getting taken care by all these, which organizations are focusing on after office hour kind of initiatives where you don't talk work, where you get time to think about your personal life, right? So those would be there. And I'm sure as employees come back to workplaces, which may be very limited. So Tushar, most of the organizations may be looking at hybrid models. So a lot of us will not go back to offices. We may be working from anywhere. But companies will find out newer and more innovative methods to engage employees and keep them motivated and happier in the new normal.
Yeah, so I think, in our case, two things we did. One is we all understand that, people are getting affected emotionally. There's no doubt about it. So we started Bhagavad Gita lectures on a weekly basis, So that has a lot to do with personal work, personal improvement. Mentally, you can get stronger also. So we started that, and we did it for 2 months, 2.5 months, and then the Acharya was busy, so he could not do it after that. Again, we are going to start now. So around the month of May, we started till July, we did it, and we're going to start again in the month of October. So I think that has really helped. People start talking about it, internal conversations start. So that's one we did once in a week, and then we started also some games. For example, games in Housey, for example, and people can make, there's maybe 100 rupees people are making, but it's fun. So most of everybody is there. It's a total pool amount of 3,000-4,000 rupees on a month, 100-200 employees, and people are all sending the money by Paytm, and you get back the money in Paytm again. So it was fun. So that's where you get connected. So these are 2 or 3 things we did, and of course that was initially, I'll say, now people have got used to it. Initially there was 4 months they were really worried about it. People have now got used to it. People are now getting freedom also. People are going out, people are going to malls, people are going to coffee shops. It's not anymore like totally restricted 100% at home. So these are a couple of activities we started, and it really helped us, no doubt about it.
And I mean, just adding to one thing which was just mentioned, is that one of the other panels I was in, one of the panelists gave a very interesting. He started doing this for his customers, right? Where he calls his customers CXOs, and he has online, like an online tombola, where he invites the CXOs and their families, so the children come. So he says his what do you call personal relationship with those his top customers has never been better, because it went beyond work, because they were also tired sitting, CXOs also sitting at home. So when they got a chance to come and network in an informal manner with CXOs of other companies, they all joined, and he said he's now doing it once a month, and he's built strong relationships. So though it is not to do anything with employee, I just thought it's a good idea, so maybe I share it with the partner community.
And also we did, I think in the first two months we did yoga classes also. So
okay.
so there was physical
That's a good
also,
thing.
and Bhagavad Gita is all about life management. So
Yeah.
you did both the life management part as well as this part. So we took some chapter of Bhagavad Gita, for example, chapter 2 and chapter 3, and it's pretty engrossing. There's no doubt about it.
I think just let me check if there is any other type of question, because almost pretty everything we covered in your answers. There is a question around work from home. There is no bonding between employees. What steps can be taken to make sure that personal trust and bonding is improved? I think we are talking about hybrid, so bonding can be improved, isn't it? People can move to the office. What is your say? It's a catch here.
Again, it's just temporary right now. We work from home is a temporary thing. So we are going to go, as I said, work from anywhere. There will be a situation where people are going to meet in the office itself. People are going to meet. It's a matter of time. Right now, we have no solution. We have no solution right now, because people have to do. It's a government of India's guidance that we can't move out, and we should not move out. And if we can do the business work from home, we should, because why take risk right now? Life is very precious. So there's no point. If any business can't do without it, of course they have to do it. But our kind of business can be actually, in fact, we have already decided that till March we are not going to open the office. So the entire year we are going to work from home. So because we can do it. But supposing some office like hardware companies can't do it, because obviously they have to go and meet the customer, they have to install. Now it's appreciated. Manufacturing can't do it. It's appreciated. You can't have one rule for everybody. So one policy for everybody.
Okay, so we are pretty sorted now. Mani is going ahead from Icon Infocom Private Limited. He is a founder and CEO. He writes, will working from home be the new normal? But how do one gauge staff productivity, compliance, and data security? I think pretty we discussed. Do you want to add on anything? We discussed about it, right? All right then. So we don't have any other questions which are different.
Area, Sanjay, I want to say one thing. Security cannot be 100% secure. Security, right. You can't get 100% secure. आप technology लगा दो. Bank में भी नहीं secure होता 100%. They are spending billions of dollars. Banks like Citi and other banks that spend 20, 25, 30 billion dollars only on technology. Then also they are not 100% secure. So you can't be 100% secure. You have to also trust your people, and then it's also your luck. You have to also see to it that everything is not shared with your people. Some controls are there, especially in the banking area. Everything, the controls are with you. So 100% secure kabhi bhi koi nahi hoga.
Okay, one more is from Satyapriya Das, Director, Logarithm Consultancy. He is just 2 words: debt recovery. How about debt recovery?
Very tough question. Very tough thing right now. Debt recovery is very tough. Because right now the government does not allow you to file NCLT also. I think two things. One has to be, first of all, you have to be proactive. See to it that there are a lot of tools available today before you give the you give supply or the orders, or you're taking the order. You should do a proper credit reference check or credit check about it, credit scorecard before doing that business. So you have to be more proactive today. And second of all is, of course, when you have a credit issue right now, see to it that you are continuously doing a proper follow-up. Clean mails are sent, all outstanding are mailed. So when the court opens, you'll have every documentation ready. So don't wait for court to open. Do all your documentation today. Send your demand notice today. And then probably when the court opens, you are ready to file the case. Today also you can file the case. It's just the hearing will not happen. You can file the case today also. But direct recovery is that's the only way, two ways. Either you have to be proactive, or again you have to be reactive, you have to go to court. Or you have to go to any known person who knows that person, if that is possible, to reconcile, and if it can be settled, nothing like it.
Okay, I don't think Matthew has any say on this. With this, I bring this panel discussion to a logical conclusion closer that way ahead, it's not, first of all, it is not the long-term one. As Sudhirji is saying, we'll again open up, people will start going to the offices and the work will resume as usual. But for the time being, the best way, best strategy is hybrid mode, where people can go alternative to the offices and meet their clients and the solution providers also. So also they can work from home or work from anywhere. The other thing is that the productivity, regarding the productivity, it is about the mindset, and organizations, as Sudhirji and Dineshji said, that organizations are doing enough to enhance the productivity. It is about the matter of mindset of the people, of the employees. They should themselves take care how to be motivated beside expectation or beside the steps that the organization are taking.
Motivation and discipline, very important, both.
Motivation and discipline, both. With this, thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Sudhir Kothari, CEO, Managing Director, MB Software. Thank you very much that you spared so much of time with us. We expect to engage and learn from your deep experience in future times also. I personally enjoyed. Definitely, the attendees must have enjoyed. So also Matthew Philip, thank you very much, giving a perspective and some of the data points that you have created along with other complementing partners and consultants for coming on board and speaking to us and addressing the on the subject of future of work. Thank you, gentlemen, and all the attendees. Thank you very much. If you have anything to say or any, I couldn't, because of the time shortage, I couldn't ask your questions. Please mail me, ping me. I can get those questions answered from the panelists. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjay. Thanks, Sudhirji. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Thanks.
Bye.